Imagine sitting with us, a quiet room, two chairs, a small table, time set aside. No performance, no show, only conversation. Moments of listening, wondering, and remembering. Have a seat. You're welcome to listen. Welcome to the Just Right Stories. You shared uh, about playing with wolves, and last time you shared playing with dolphins. Then you went home. How did it go on then with animals, playing with animals?
I had to pretty much let it go again because I didn't know what to do. When I lived in California, I spent most of my time playing with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I was teaching at Mobach or had my own preschool, then I was playing with children most of the time. There wasn't time. But we had, on a trip to Montana, discovered a very small, at that time, community called Big Sky. And to a surprise, we found an apartment we could afford to, to buy. So I did. And every summer we'd go to Big Sky, and that gave me the opportunity to explore the mountains north of Yellowstone Park.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just began to wander around. And I remember when we first got there, we met some other people, locals,
Mm-hmm.
and wanted us to go hiking with them. That was my first and last hike with the locals. I don't like to hike.
Uh-huh.
I'm not in the mountains for that. I'm not trying to get anywhere. So I didn't fit their idea, and they certainly did not like my idea. And my idea was to just wander the mountains looking for animals. And doing that, you spend a lot of time sitting and waiting. And that's not what hikers want to do. So I ended up, fortunately, just going alone. I'd spend a day or half a day or time just wandering, looking, not searching in the sense of having a directed
Mm-hmm.
path, but just wandering. As if I was wandering, the animals were wandering, and perhaps we meet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. And most of the time, we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot about sitting and being patient and just waiting and not trying, not pushing.
Mm-hmm.
But in time, thinking that the animals and I were doing the same thing. We were just wandering.
Mm-hmm.
And wanderers can meet. As long as I let go of thinking that I want something, that I'm here for them to give me something that I'm searching for, that I'm just there, period, then things can happen. And with elk and moose and bison, black bear, grizzly bear, things began to happen. Events,
Mm-hmm.
surprises to me occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One day, it was a rainy, cloudy day, what in Hawaii we'd call pineapple rain. So it wasn't a rain that kept you in the house, but you could get soaked over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I found an elk, a male elk, just lying down under a tree. And I couldn't tell whether he was sleeping or just resting there. Because I don't read about animal behavior to do this. I don't read about what elk do or don't do. As my concern is, my intent is, I'm not playing with the category elk.
Yeah.
I'm playing with this particular animal. And I stood and watched for a while. And I moved so that he could see me if he was looking. Didn't try to hide. I don't try to hide. I don't wear camouflage clothes. And over time, I got closer and closer and literally sat down with him like we are.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him breathing through his body, could hear his, and I just sat there, didn't move, and the elk just laid there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, we may be there 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I didn't pay attention to the time. I just kind of knew when it was time to get up. And I slowly got up and backed out and walked away. I was, wow, just there. We think of the word play as being rambunctious, very active.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, whether it's with children or animals, most of what I do is not rambunctious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be very physical. But most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's still, it's quiet, it's gentle. Often neither party moves. And that was true with this elk. On another day I was walking there was a valley, and I'm up here wandering, and at the bottom of the valley, 3 male elk were walking. So I had just sat in a small clearing and watched, and the 3 just walked by below me. But the third one stopped when it got directly in a line below me. Mm-hmm. And the elk turned its head and looked right up at me. It felt as if he knew I'm waiting there for him. That's what it felt like. He just, the other 2 just kept on going. They didn't pay any attention. But he turned and walked straight up the hill, mm-hmm. directly to me. And I'm sitting, I didn't move, I'm sitting in the clearing, my legs are crossed, and I'm just sitting there. Mm-hmm. And he walks right up, and he's right here. Mm-hmm. His antlers completely circle me. Mm-hmm. And he eats the grass between my legs. And I'm in this...
Surrounded by elk.
Yeah, surrounded by elk antlers. And he raised his head, and the elk antlers just raised up. Mm-hmm. And he just stood there for a second, so turned and walked down the hill and joined the other 2, and they kept wandering. I thought...
What was it like being in the presence of an elk? Because you have been used to being with wolves and dolphins, and they had a certain kind of presence. What was the presence of an elk? I mean, it's a huge animal.
Yeah, there's a kind of a smell, a musky, a dusty, dirty kind of combination of things. But as with the wolves and the dolphins, there's no sense of risk. Mm-hmm. Like, I better be good. What happens if he moves too fast? I could get hurt with the antlers. No sense of that at all. Mm-hmm. And people would say to me, well, if what you're doing with the animals, aren't you making the animals less afraid of humans? Mm-hmm. I said, well, if I was a human, that would be true.
In that moment.
But the fact is, when I do this, I'm not a human. That's the whole point of it. There are times.
But how would you describe it? You say you're not a human. What is it that you are then?
It won't make sense. Face of God. It makes sense to nobody. Because that's not enough.
Yeah.
That's not what this is about. This is not about me doing special things and being special. This is about me letting go with another being who has to do exactly the same thing I'm doing. When we do exactly the same thing, that's when we meet. It does no good for me to let go of being a human and the elk remains an elk. That's not what I'm trying to find out. That's not the exploration that I'm looking for, what I'm feeling. So I don't feel like, oh, wow, this is wonderful. I'm in the middle of an elk. I'm just present and safe, period. I don't think about elk until he's down in the bottom of the valley walking with the other two. Then I think about, oh, wow, there's an elk. Huh. And then, but I don't even know how to think about that. Because during the encounter, there's no sense of Fred, no sense of elk. There's no sense of love as an intent. I don't say, okay, now I'm going to do this. I'm going to love elk. We're in oneness.
No.
None of that occurs. None of it at all. We're just there. Two beings in the forest. And that's it. What else would I want? When I experience this over and over and over, you realize that's enough. That's it. There is no more. And it's the human inability to know what's enough that makes us want to do something with the elk, makes us want, animals are things for us to do. It's very hard for us to share with animals, whether they're pets or wild animals like the elk. It's understanding and in feeling, more than understanding, because I'm not thinking while this is going on, but a feeling of just right. You know, some people have an old jacket, a pair of shoes, a room. They have something and they know this is just right. This is it. Nothing more. That's what it feels like. This is the way it should be.
So like a just rightness of life or being alive or being in this world? Where is this just rightness?
This is when aliveness is mutual, not separate. And when it's mutual, it just is. You don't need anything more than that. It was a wonderful day with the elk. I remember spending a whole morning with a young moose. We were in a clearing together. We kind of ran into each other in this clearing, and we both kind of, oh, wow, you're here too, kind of. And very slowly, we moved around and ending up next to each other. And I'm standing about as far away as I am from you, and right between us, his moose's head is right here, and he's young, he's not an adult. So I'm 6 foot, he's probably 8 feet. His head is higher than me. And there's a sapling right here between us that's not bigger around than this, of a tree. Mm-hmm. And we're just looking at each other, not moving. And all of a sudden, off to my right, in a clearing, 2 deer jump and run in a circle chasing each other. We both were so startled that I went, and it felt like the moose did the same thing. And we came down and looked at each other like, oh, what was that? And then the deer were gone, and both walked away. Mm-hmm. And there's never, that I can recall right now, most of the time there's not the ending is clear, but there's no obvious point at which you could say from the outside, oh, it's ended. Mm-hmm. You just feel it's ended now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you back away or turn and walk away. Mm-hmm. Again, this is safe, not in the sense of the opposite of unsafe. Mm-hmm. It's safe because there is nothing else it could be. Mm-hmm. That's what real safety is. Mm-hmm. When there is nothing else. Mm-hmm. And that's what original play is. There is nothing else. Safety is not being bigger or stronger or faster, mm-hmm. more wise, smarter. None of those things count, because all of those things in the encounter aren't even present. Mm-hmm. So they don't matter.
To me, it sounds like if you're in this playing situation, like you're taken out of this world, like where there's right and wrong and good and bad and these dual possibilities, because then it's safe and unsafe. It's like you're in a different world where there's just this and not both possibilities. Mm-hmm. That I find so interesting. And then you're not a human being and the elk is not a elk. Then you're something different. So it also almost seems to me like a different reality or different world, whatever.
My guess is that you felt it as a mother when your children were very, very small, infants, and even younger, and you held them. You could feel in that being absolute safety. Mm-hmm. Because there was nothing else. Mm-hmm. Then somebody comes over, I'm going to say a man, and for some reason you hand the baby to him, and the baby goes into startle reflex. Mm-hmm. What just happened? Oh, now we're in the world of safe, unsafe. Because the man had no idea what in the world he was doing. And that's communicated directly into the body of the baby. The same way you communicated directly into the body of the baby. The baby doesn't need to be told I'm safe. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else. Mm-hmm. Now, multiply that. Suppose the baby grows up and never, ever feels unsafe, but feels that every moment, every day, the rest of their life. Mm. That's what we're here for. We aren't here to be unsafe, but we're told the world is unsafe. Oh, okay.
And we believe it.
I better be afraid.
Yeah.
So original play is you're right. It's literally another world. It's not a better this world.
No, it's a different world. That's how I experience it.
Yeah.
It's like being taken out and being in some other space but here. And still you're here. It looks like you're here, but you're not. So what other animals did you encounter wandering around?
Wandering I once spent an afternoon in a there was some places there were lumbering had happened in the mountains, and a bunch of trees would be cleared in an area. And I once spent an afternoon with a black bear in a clearing like that. And I just sat. I was in the clearing sitting before the black bear entered. And I just sat, didn't get up, didn't move. And the black bear just wandered around. Nothing special. Didn't come close, but near. I'll say like 10, 15 yards away. We both knew we were there. And again, the feeling was absolute safety. And absolute safety is not doing nothing. It requires of me and the animal or the other being the skill of knowing exactly what to do and how to do it. When the skill that's required is beyond me. It means it requires a patience, a sense of presence, a sense of knowing the relationship between me, not me and black bears, that's irrelevant, but me and this black bear right now. Being able to feel that and move with it so that the black bear moves with it too. That we're both just right. And that's it. It's over. Nothing more. And when I actually lived in Montana, and I worked at a ranch guiding people by horseback, people somehow got the feeling that Fred likes bears. Fred knows about bears. So a couple from LA who was staying at the guest ranch asked me if they could wander around with me. And it took me some time to think about it. But I said, yeah, well, so we went, we wandered, and it was just a day, most of a day. And we got to a spot, and I just said, let's take a rest here. Because I often will sit and just sit and feel what's going on around here. I call it situational awareness. Being aware of the situation you're in. Do I need to move? Do I need to go back? What do I need to do? And I saw, maybe 50 yards away, maybe a 3-year-old grizzly. It was a subadult, not a full-grown bear. And the bear wasn't paying attention to me, obviously was not paying attention, but wandered back and forth like digging up logs, eating ants, just kind of meandering. And I said to the two people, you see the tree over there? Like the both of you go up that tree. So they did that, and I just sat. And the bear, like he was in slow motion, came and crossed in front of me and stopped right here on my shoulder and put its paw here on my shoulder. So I did the same thing. I did like that on the bear's shoulder and leg.
So the bear touched your shoulder and you touched kind of back in the same kind of touch he gave you. Mm-hmm. Okay.
There was nothing rough about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just touching. And then when we both finished, he stood right here next to and gave me a shove with his body. Enough to kind of do that to me. So it just kind of did it back. And he walked away.
So you shoved him back and he walked away.
Just walked away. And then I motioned to the two people in the tree to come down. They came down and I said, "You want some more?" And they both were, no, we're going home. We want to go home.
That was too close.
Yeah. Usually I don't take people with me because it really complicates the situational awareness. I have to be aware of how they're feeling and what they're doing and how that impacts the animal. And the sense of safety between the bear and I has to include them.
Yeah.
Can't exclude them and pretend they aren't there. It's like, when you're playing with a child on a mat and some new kids come in, you don't just say, well, okay, well, I'll just play with this one child and we'll forget the others. The sense of safety between the two of you has to include them. Or you have to stop. Well, but my experience as I do this more and more with different situations that I don't design. In fact, I think one thing is going to happen and another thing happens. Begin to realize that this sense of safety is not limited. It's as big as it needs to be, period. And not controlled by me. I didn't sit there thinking, oh, I hope those two people are good. I hope they're safe. I hope they're... There was no reason to think about them at all. Because the sense of safety includes them. They don't have to say, I hope Fred is making me safe. One of the principles of this safety is that there's always enough love, which is opposite from there's never enough fear, which is the normal world we live in. And it's not a love that I create. And that's really important because people think that it somehow has to do with something I do. I participate.
It's something you step into.
I'm in a relationship with the bear. And in this case, it happens to include two other people. But just like a family, I can't imagine your family in a situation where there's not enough love. I come into your family as a new person. And one of the things that's obvious to me, there's always enough love to include me. So, what the heck? And to realize that we feel parts. our efforts at creating a feeling of love, of creating a feeling of safety, aren't enough.
Mm-hmm.
But we're already part of a bigger safety, a bigger love. But we have to drop the part of us who thinks that it's me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I don't drop the me part,
Mm-hmm. You have to be strong, and it has
yeah.
to be your love, and that's won't be enough.
And in all of the cases with animals, I once wandered through a herd of elk. They're just doing what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Eating, browsing, meandering, looking, and I'm doing the same thing, just wandering through. Not, in that case, I'm moving.
Mm-hmm.
But my motion is in relationship to what they are doing, how they move.
Mm-hmm.
So it really fits.
How would that look like? I've never wandered with moose, so how would that look like?
Well, a herd of elk, and there have probably been 30 of them or so, more or less. I didn't stop to count them, but they're all around in the trees and the, and they're more or less going in a direction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not moving like those three were. The three that I saw before were actually moving in a straight line. They were going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
This herd was just kind of lazily, and so I would enter and just kind of walk around. I wouldn't walk in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't walk up
Mm-hmm.
to elk. There's a way of moving so your whole body takes on the kind of motion that surrounds you. And the kind of motion that surrounds me was a herd of elk moving.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly, if you took a photograph of them, they look like they're all just standing still.
Mm-hmm.
They take a few steps, eat, take a step, eat, take a step.
Mm-hmm.
They're not...
There's not much movement.
No.
It's just slow. So you would do the same. You would just stand.
There's an incredible relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
This helped me when I was working with cancer patients in Northern California. Each of the cancer patients would spend 1 hour with me alone doing a play that I do. And the retreat center was literally across the road from a dairy farm. So I got the idea, because as you can imagine, cancer patients have a lot of stress to deal with. Both family and disease and doctors, and it just coming from everywhere. So I looked at the cows and I thought, okay, I would take the cancer patient across the fence and we'd sit in this pasture with a herd of cows.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the cows doing? What cows do? They're incredibly relaxed, just munching, just standing or lying. Oh, let the cancer patient absorb what the cows are doing. Don't become a cow. Just feel the situation you're in and let it be. Don't try to do what the cows do. Just let go of who you are. That will be the just rightness that the cows need too. I was always learning from the animals or the kids I was playing with, because I didn't know what I was doing. was not me going out to the animals to test them, to see if they could. I had to figure out how to be so they could give me the evidence that I was looking for. If you don't know how to look in a microscope or a telescope, you're not going to pick up the evidence that's in front of your eyes, which is the same with what I do. If I don't know how to be with the elk, I'm not going to pick up what they're showing me. It's the same with the kids, the same with the grizzly bear. They're showing me not how to be a human, not how to be Fred, but by stepping out of that, I step into something bigger and better, fuller, more alive. But I have to learn that. I have to learn how to be so I can feel that. And from the outside, it looks too risky. With a grizzly or a herd of elk or a moose or whatever animal. But from the inside, from their letting go, creating this safe place for me to enter, then there's enough. And they're all going, hey, look, we include that white guy over there. And I would remember when, after the hour, the cancer patient and I would leave and go back to the retreat center. And not a single person ever said, why did I do that?
They really felt the difference. They could feel what changed them.
Yeah, I should have started cow therapy.
Yeah.
But what are they paying lots of money to doctors and therapists for? The same thing the cows do. The therapist wants you to step out of the stressful person you are so they can help you. Well, that herd of cows is doing the same thing. Step out of the cancer and be with us. We don't care about cancer. Oh, wow. And it was the same. Grizzly bear wasn't interested in my life, what I did, who I am, because that person isn't there anyway. When I wasn't playing, I had two ideas. One was, is it really true that there's a pattern of being that cuts across all life? I mean, David said there was.
Can you, what did David say?
David said, Fred, play is when we don't know that we're different from each other.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. David's we in that sentence is not David and me.
Yeah.
And at first I thought he's talking about kids. No, I wasn't talking about kids. Maybe he's talking about humans. No. Well, he must be talking about animals, too. Okay, but what if he's talking about, what if it's the big we? What if it's all life? Well, does that include God? I guess so. Okay. So I wanted to see. I wanted to actually find out, could I play with all life? Since I was doing other work at times, I was a cowboy, or I was playing with kids, or I had my own preschool, or I was teaching at Mobach, I didn't have time to run around the world looking for animals to play with. So play had to be integrated into however I was living, with a kindergarten, my kindergarten, Maubach with older kids. And that wasn't a problem. But I still had in the back of my mind, I'm still searching for other animals to play with.
Mm-hmm.
When I ended up in South Africa, that was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it included elephant and fish eagle and cheetah and other animals.
Baboons. Baboons.
Baboons, yeah.
Lions.
I was around lions, but I didn't play with them until back in the States. Lion, tiger,
Mm-hmm.
mountain lion, lynx. In the United States, I had an experience that I don't understand any of it at all, but this was really special to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing in a Head Start program, and Head Start was
Mm-hmm.
like pre-kindergarten for
Mm-hmm.
young children. And I was eating lunch, and there was a morning session and then a different afternoon session.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, I'm sitting on the grass eating lunch, and a teacher ran up to me, said, Fred, we need you. Come quickly. I looked and she said, there's a hummingbird in the room, and we've tried everything, and we can't get it out. And you know animals, you go do it. I thought, I don't know how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about hummingbirds. I didn't know what to do, but I ran and followed her. And she ran in, and the room had two doors across from each other,
Mm-hmm.
and the room and windows at this side. They had brought down the shades to make it dark.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought the hummingbird would go,
Out the
and he
doors.
wasn't. He was staying down there.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no idea what to do. I stood in the doorway and did that.
You lift your hand.
I just raised my hand. That's all I did. As soon as my hand got up, the hummingbird was in my hand. Not me standing there waiting, waving, doing something. My hand was, the hummingbird was in it as it raised. And I brought it down, and the hummingbird's sitting here. I walk across the room to the other door and just went the slightest motion, and the hummingbird took off. And the teacher said, wow, you're good. What did you do? And you see in that statement is the mistake that surrounds original play. I didn't do anything.
But from the outside, it looked like you were the one doing it.
From the outside, it looked like I did this magical thing.
Mm-hmm.
I talked earlier about situational awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. Without the proper amount of pressure, the hummingbird can't take off.
Mm-hmm.
So my hand has to feel the just rightness of the hummingbird in order for the hummingbird to move or just sits there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do that. I have no idea what that means.
Mm-hmm.
But that the just rightness is a triune in just rightness. It's a three being just rightness. Hummingbird, me, and God.
Mm-hmm.
And how did the hummingbird know that my hand was safety?
Mm-hmm.
How did I know to do that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I did not consciously raise my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Play requires, every time you, I, any of the people who have played with children, anytime you step on the mat, you don't know what's going to happen. You give up control without consciously saying, I give up my control now.
Yeah, yeah,
But you do.
yeah,
So what happens?
yeah.
You don't know The child doesn't know, but something happens that surrounds it in safety, and it is. You and the child have this situational awareness about how to move. So,
But still, it's not conscious moving.
yeah.
Because I also remember playing that sometimes my hand did something and I didn't understand, but like it moved out there and then just then a head of a child landed there. And it was so mysterious, like why would my body move in a way, but it kept other people or kids safe? And how would I know that? Very
See.
strange to think about it afterwards, because while you're playing,
Yeah.
it's just how it is. It's just always afterwards, being like in this world, you think, wow, this was really like mysterious ways that my body started to move.
Now imagine if you played with kids 4 to 5 hours a day, 50 weeks a year for 20 years. You would not say that was coincidence.
No.
If you do it once,
Yeah.
it's easy. Oh,
It's easy
wow,
to say
neat
that,
coincidence.
Yeah.
And everybody who plays once, twice, and thinks they know something about original play, they've decided already that they know what that is. And if it happens once, it makes sense. In this world, we relegate much of what we happen to us as coincidence. But if it happens hours every day for years, you realize, just like physicists, they don't see what they're looking at. They infer. If it happened just once, you say, well, that's a nice coincidence. Quantum physics is not based on a coincidence. And no one's ever seen a quark or even an atom. But we believe it. It's because the scientists are studying patterns. And a pattern is not just a one-off thing. It goes over and over and over and over and over. Oh, yeah, I got a pattern here.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to me. I could have stopped that very first day when I saw those kids at children's school with no contest. And I could have said, oh, yeah, okay. And go on, and that would have ended it. But they didn't let me, fortunately.
So the pattern keeps growing. The patterns keep growing.
Yes, yeah, and that's what I wanted to see. Would the pattern keep growing? And my second, goal maybe? If kids and I could create this no contest behavior, and Jose, the gang member, could put down his gun because of it, and JD could stop fighting. But if all kids in the world were allowed to do original play every day, we would create a generation that didn't know how to fight, not because it was wrong, because it simply biologically did not exist. Never happened in their brain or body. Fear never occurred. Safety was always just right. Why we choose to be afraid, I don't know. I think some because they think it's exciting. And they can't imagine a peaceful world, a world where you could be like Daniel in the lion's den, be with them, or like me and Nala, the lioness, where you're just safe, period, you're safe.
That would be a wonderful topic for another episode to talk about this different kind of world, how it could be. That would be just interesting to explore that and talk about peace, not like peace as a word of action, because you still have to do something to stay there.